fucking classic weekends.
You work your bollocks off all week and you have a weekend party, and that's what it's all about. You just fucking party, do whatever you want, get out your nut and have a good time. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Best weekend I've had for years.
Yeah. And we're sad old cunts as well.
So how does the last night's gig compare with today?
Complete different. I mean, a lot. You can't compare it. Two totally different factions of the human race, really. I mean, last night in its own right was brilliant for the anti-Noah League, and tonight was brilliant for the anti-Noah League as well. I mean, it's all these people. I mean, the punks made the anti-Noah League. We didn't make it ourselves. They bought our records. They came along to see us, and but we always had a cross-section of audience. We never just had solely punk rockers. We'd had
we're playing with Metallica.
We'd have straight punters turn up. We'd have bikers. We'd have hippies. We'd have punks. Everybody from across the board. And that's what made
skinheads.
Yeah, skinheads as well. There's the whole lot. I mean, it was never a political band. It was never a racialist band. We done our own thing. We done our own style of music. People got off on it, and that was great for us. And it was great for the people who got off on it.
Playing not the sort of music your mother would like. As simple as that, isn't it? It's rebellion music, isn't it?
You know, at the end of the day, really, what we've got is we've got all the audience that nice bands don't want. You know, let's fight by us because there's a niche for us there, and we love them, they love us. That's what it's all about. We have a great time doing what we do. You know, that's life at the end of the day, isn't it?
So it was back in the beginning. You was fucking very rebellious band, obscene almost.
Yes.
What was the reasoning behind that?
The reason we were obscene was because Nick doesn't know any other way to sing. He can't sing any other way.
He hasn't got vocabulary.
The three of us started the band together, and first of all, Nick was the roadie, and I was a guitarist and singer.
And I was security.
And you were security. And I realised I couldn't play guitar, but even worse than that, I couldn't sing. And we said, who do we get to sing? And it had to be someone we knew. We only had mates in the band, so Nick chose to sing. And then Winston
I said, let me have a try, please. And McGee said, that fucking noise is awful. That is the worst fucking noise I've ever heard. You're definitely
in.
That was exactly it. You are in.
Yeah.
We then said to Winston, have you ever played a guitar before? And he said, what's that?
What's a guitar?
And this is
so
true.
This is
God's sake true. He was on the dole and had no money. He signed an HP agreement.
Sold your record collection.
He bought the guitar on the Wednesday. Yeah. I taught him how to play it, and 20 songs on the Thursday. And we played our first gig on the Saturday to a load of drunk bikers at Lakenheath US Air Force Base.
Yeah, fucking brilliant. And it was brilliant. It was fucking brilliant.
So we started off playing to bikers. And then because we were so bad, we sort of thought we found a niche in the punk market. Because we
couldn't really play. I mean, Chris was actually the most musical competent one, but he could play like 1.5 chords. And after that, he blended into obscurity, you know.
That's really,
And that's how it was. I said the band started.
In 15 years, we would have got better, wouldn't you, really? In 15 years, we would have learned
something. What happened? And then Animal and Magoo went over to the Bridge House in Canning Town and bribed the Dams to let us go and do a tour with them. We paid them
£200.
Paid £200.
Played 3 days.
But what the situation was, the gigs that we played, we got paid that back anyway, so it didn't cost us anything at the end of the day. We went on tour with them and they loved us, because like in those days we was quite wild, we could really party, and the Dam could as well.
Oh God, it was everything. I mean, it was just, it was no sleep for a week. It was fucking bags of everything illegal. Was fucking continue on.
The substances was going up the user very fast, I must admit.
It was fucking wild, and I think quite honestly, the Damned have often said, it's the best fucking party days, but obviously it's not the same now as when you first all really raw, really rough. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was just meat and potatoes. There was no, you didn't know where you was going to end up. I mean, if you got to your next gig here, if you didn't, you'd end up in fucking somewhere. Sleeping under the van, if I remember right. In the snow, saying, fuck me, not another gig.
We're doing this. And what we've done is, after that, there was an agent on the thing that approached us that wasn't interested, because we were just like out to have a good time at the end of the day. I mean, we never expected to get the success that the Anti-Noah League had achieved in that time. and Chris was thumbing through, McGoo was thumbing through like Melody Maker or Sounds or something like that. And there's an advert there for like the Apocalypse Now, which was a now infamous event and punk package that John Kerr put on at the Lyceum. And he said, fucking hell, we're playing at the Lyceum. I said, no, can't we? This is our name there. So anyway, McGoo phoned up the promoter and he said, yeah, you know, I heard your name, like, you know, I heard it from somebody, I thought it was really great, I want to put you on. We played that Apocalypse Now, and then John Kerr, the promoter, loved the band, and the audience loved the band as well. When he started,
I'm not sure about love when we were right at the beginning.
Maybe indifferent, maybe the audience was a little bit indifferent to the band.
Yeah.
And you know, John Kerr wanted to start, at that time, wanted to start a label, so he started WXYZ Records. And after that, the rest is history, really. You know, I mean, we took off. People liked us. We never went out and out. You know, we were one of these fucking bands that went, oh yeah, we really want to be successful. We really want to be a good band and all that. Because we didn't really give a fuck. I mean, when we got the success that the band achieved, and we did get quite a lot of success in the early '80s. We just couldn't believe it. It was like on a roller coaster and you couldn't get off.
What this success meant to us, I think, in the early days, is you actually had hotels.
Yeah.
I mean, that was fucking amazing.
Yeah, tour managed. People
Instead of sleeping in a fucking van, you actually had, oh Christ, hotels, you know, running water.
You didn't have to think for
So
yourself.
what do we do?
You know?
We actually blew them up. I mean, it's all been fucking in it, a little bit.
Yeah, it's all been done, but the whole rock and roll syndrome of everything. We did.
One time with Sensible, we was in a hotel.
Thunderflash is in the
Fucking
hotel.
hell, yeah, we Thunderflash the hotel. It's completely, and it blew his bedroom to pieces, didn't it?
Fucking
No, it blew our bedroom to
Oh,
pieces.
and he blew ours.
It was
out,
mine and McGoo's
fucking-
bedroom. It blew our bedroom
So
to pieces.
the only way we could get out of there without actually fucking having a horrendous amount of money fucking coming out of our own bin to pay for this fucking lot, we actually all went around and stuck it with bubble gum, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to sit there for about an hour with all bits of fucking
Oh,
furniture.
it's moving quick, stick it, you
And
know.
this is true with bubble gum, wasn't it? And fucking
Christ,
precariously hanging the television sideways and that, and all the fucking garbage stuffed in the back and it's like that. So
I imagine the last, the next double glazing rep that went in there, like, and he went to hang his coat up and they were all trapping the fucking lot filled to bits.
it was a demolition job, wasn't it? That was Sensible's fault, really.
Yeah. But after that, I mean, we done a tour. We did the Friday the 13th tour with the Damned as a support slot for them, and we got on so well. We had a great tour. It was our first major tour, and we found it like really hard because I mean the Damned at that time were seasonal tourers. Really, they'd been at it for a while.
Showed us the ropes.
Yeah, they showed us the ropes, and we owe the Damned a lot. You know, a lot of respect for them. A lot of respect for the Damned because they did actually give us our first break and start us off on the road to what we achieved at the end of the day. And we've got respect from them, we've got respect from now. They're very, very good bands.
We've obviously skipped about 3 questions, haven't we?
Well, you're on the second one.
I just thought we were...
God, I'm bored myself.
Wake me up.
Right. So you've gone over this briefly, but how and why did you actually get involved with punk rather than any other form of music?
I think music inefficiency, musical inefficiency.
But also in the 80s, you got to remember, you know, I mean, the Pistols just finished. All the side, you know, the Strangers and that and all that were just over with. There was a sort of like, all of a sudden there was a void. Everyone said, fuck, you know, we're all revved up and nowhere to go. There is no bands, you know, flying the flag here, you know. And okay, it's just that the Exploited just started. They were sort of real hard crusted Mohicans.
Discharge as well.
And then you had these sort of hard crusted sort of blokes who were just sort of like starting to fill the gap which of this fucking void which the Pistols started. And like we stepped in and sort of said, well, we'll carry the banner, you know. I mean, it was fucking alive. The old places were alive. The atmosphere, there was all punters ready to fucking go, and nobody really
All dressed up with nowhere to go, weren't they?
because you think of Pistols and the Strangers and that had all gone through their sort of rebellious time, and they were either finished or
mellowing out,
mellowing, you know. And there's still the hard edge was you know, people wanted it.
We feel we was at the right time and we feel the niche in the market really at the end of the day, didn't we?
Yeah,
So
timing.
the timing was very, very good for the band.
Yeah, it was very good.
I think, you know, if you think about when you bands start and when they don't. I mean, if we'd started sort of like 5 years ago, you'd probably be, you know, you'd probably get on the metal acts, wouldn't you? More, you'd be on the grunge market, the crusted, grungy. You know, it depends when you come in. I think, and then they all suddenly go, oh, what's the date? Here's your label. Pop, and it goes, pop on your head. and then you've got your label, and you know.
Well, that's trouble. We're so willing to stick labels on you, really. I mean, we was categorised as a punk band then, and yeah, well, I mean, we had all the ideals of punk and everything, but I mean, everybody's got those sort of ideals. They want to have a good time and they want to get pissed and act up and things like that. You know, our audience, even in those days, was right across the board. We had everybody turning up at the gigs. It wasn't just punks, you know, so it was really good for everybody concerned.
Yes.
So, the Live in Yugoslavia album, was it officially censored?
Yes, it was. That was at the time. We were one of the first bands to actually manage to record in Yugoslavia. Because it was groundbreaking at the time. And what happened was, we recorded a live gig that went down. Luckily, it was a really good one. But they wouldn't let the tapes out of the country because we slagged off President Tito, who was then president.
They dead.
Yeah.
Dead. Just dead. Just dead.
So we had to censor.
He no more.
We had to censor that bit out about President Tito.
Before they let the tapes out of the country.
Before they let the tapes out of the country. That was before all this Bosnian crisis.
It was good. I mean, it was very good. I mean, go to Yugoslavia, I mean, the communist bloc country. I mean, you know, people go there on holiday, but you never imagined at the end.
Then it wasn't so easily accessible, was it?
I often think, you know, when you're watching this, you know, I was out there in Bosnia, don't want to get there, you know, but all those fucking soldiers out there, all the punters at our gigs, you know, they were fucking full up those places when we played there.
Yeah.
They were fucking, the walls were heaving, you know. All fucking young punters, really, just wanted a bit of fun. And they all fucking end up in the army.
Yeah.
Killing each other, fucking all.
Sad.
Weird. Very
Sad.
strange.
Strange country anyway, but I mean, to have the Antinova League at it, because it was their 21st Festival of Music and Arts. Well, I mean,
they let us more than anybody else because I think a few people went again because obviously a political tension going on there. You know, with us, there was nothing political, so it was just sort of like in your face thing happening. You know, so it was allowed. You know, a few foul mouth yobs coming out and screaming and shouting. You know, it wasn't as heavy as sort of having somebody like Clash or whatever. You know, I mean, it wasn't. You know, it wasn't the fucking. A big issue us going out there. It was the little boys were fun, you know. So we sneaked in the door and recorded. You know. Don't ask us about that Perfect Crime album, whatever you do. If you got one on there, just fucking forget that one.
What, is that a sore subject? No, I'll skip that one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I never want to talk about that album ever.
I didn't know about the censoring from Yugoslavia. What I was on about was the bleeping of an album.
Oh, that's right, because he got seized again by us.
That's it.
We were in America touring, weren't we?
Before that, we had.
They did a pressing, wasn't it? They wouldn't fucking press it.
Before that, we had like with the first single, which was "The Streets of London So What," which is obviously everybody knows about now. I mean, that was seized by Scotland Yard, blah blah blah, etc. etc. But because in Yugoslavia they recorded it live, it was how we do the song live with all the profanity in it and everything. And that was something else that when it come over and it was pressed, there was another big rigmarole with Scotland Yard New Sea Publications squad over that as well. So, you know, that sort of history really. I mean, you know, they seized copies of that and they wanted the lyrics changed and bleeped. And it wasn't only with that, it was also with Animal as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Because Animal was a song that we used to do called Animal, which was about Mr. Average with his sexual perversions and doing this and that.
During the time, there was obviously a lot of fucking, this sort of like filth stuff going on records, but you know, it was all accepted, wasn't it? I mean, there was lots of these fucking comedy things and stuff. You know, filth on vinyl was becoming a little bit. We just had to be the ones that they suddenly fucking come down with a hammer and said, look, you know, it was so in your face. You know, let's face it. You know, the lyrics to these songs, if you dissect them, are absolutely fucking stupid. But because they were sort of sung with attitude, fucking violence involved, it was all of a sudden a different. Oh Christ, you know, this is dangerous. So then they come slapping and everything, and we said, you know, any other fucker. After that, we dug our own grave and not allowed to fucking say anything on a record. Anybody else could then say what they wanted, but as soon as we said any fucking thing where even resembled a swear word, it was wallop, off you go out the fucking press again, you know. And we sort of dug our own grave for this, but I think they used us more as a you know, wicked boy, more than the fact that we were that fucking outrageous. We want our lyrics, you know, not that fucking bad, are they? I mean,
had profanity in it, but I mean, nothing than any more average punter would say when it was angry, you know. So.
Your normal punter would talk about things like bestiality and molesting and so on.
I mean, how many blokes do you know who haven't fucked a goat?
Exactly.
I mean, it's normal.
How many beers, you know?
Well, it's really come from, it's really come from Tunbridge Wells where we come from. It's quite normal.
And how many beers you know who has not sucked an old man's cock or had his cock?
Depends where you learn from. If you
I know
learn
I
about public conveniences, if you learn about public conveniences,
It's affect the Kent upbringing.
Upbringing, yeah, definitely.
If you come from south of the Thames, you know exactly what we're talking about. You know,
if you want to know just conveniences, ask the question. You've got the full listing. You know, from like any Kidbrook downwards towards us. You know,
so
holes in
to
the wall
us it
for
was
people.
quite normal. You know, we couldn't understand anyone saying, "Well, we've never done those things." No, it's rubbish. Absolutely.
I fucked a jeans and Pratt as well.
You also let Steve Strange give you a wank.
Yeah, no, give me a blow. Actually, Steve Strange gave me a blowjob one night. Dirty, filthy queer. Because I mean, he had a fair few drugs, and at that time he was doing a few drugs, and was like the whole rock and roll, you know, syndrome. You know, do drugs, get out, you know, have a good time. And all that.
Burn out.
Yeah, he had some quite good drugs. So, but the only way I could get him to give them to me was to let him suck me off. So fair play to him.
Who got the better deal?
I think I got a better deal because I had the drugs and I couldn't get an hard on, so he was like chewing on the foreskin. I mean, you know, he's a sad fucker anyway, so fair play to him. If he wants to give drugs for sucking on the foreskin, that's different to me. I'd want money actually if I was doing it.
Oh
So, what as a band?
Yeah.
What would you say you stood for?
dear. You have to do things
Ourselves.
like
No,
that. He has
ourselves.
to say things like that, doesn't he?
We stand for ourselves. That's the only thing we
I have
have.
a hard job standing up for stuff.
Have a good time, fucking party, have a fucking good time.
No, I think also, you know, still carry the old flag as which you say, you know, I mean, it's just fucking, people look at us as, which I think is quite interesting because you get fucking young punters, obviously been in the business 15 years, they come along and say, look at you know, I mean, they don't go along as Pink Floyd and say, cool, I can be better than that. They come along and they nowhere league say, fuck me, if those cunts can get away with it, so can I. Why don't they go out and start a band? You know, and most of these bands that start up, they don't even get as big as Metallica. They all say, yeah, fucking, it's only because I went to London to see this fucking band called the Nowhere League. You think, fuck, I can do better than that. You know, it just inspires people, you know. You get most of the punters in the audience, all got bands. You know, they're all saying, fucking hell, those blokes can do it, I can do that.
It gives them that initiative to go out and do it. I mean, the good thing is, though, I mean, one thing I will say, the Anti-Nowhere League is held in very, very high esteem by its peers. Bands like Metallica and Guns N' Roses, because I mean when we started off and we was doing it and we had the rebellious attitude and we was having a crack and all that, they was the sort of bands that come along and saw us when we first toured in the States and toured Europe and that, and it's set a precedent for everything really, to go out and have a good time and do that sort of stuff. And if we contributed a millionth of a percent to the fucking music of Great Britain and promoting it in the world, then we've done what we wanted to do. We've had a good time, and at the end of the day, if you've had a good time and you've had a good crack doing it, then that's what it's all about. If it's boring, when it gets boring, then that's fucking. We'll say that's it. We don't want to do it anymore. But all the time we're having a good time, then we're quite happy to do it.
Well, you're right also. I mean, what I think puts us apart a little bit from the average punter. I mean, because from the average band is because they sort of get together as musicians, but they don't know each other. We got together as mates, and we didn't know music. So the bond is
true,
deeper.
actually. The
bond is deeper, and you don't.
You say didn't or doesn't.
The actual thing is locked more better as us as a unit.
The thing
and
is
we don't have band things which when we go to bands, you know, all in different changing rooms saying, fucking hate that cunt, I hate our drummer, I hate our fucking, but you know.
We do, don't tell lies, we do. No, the truth is really, I mean, what Animal says, that's exactly how it is. I mean, we wasn't interested in it, we just done it for the crack, and it happened for us. We were very lucky, but I mean, in Tunbridge Wells at the time, which is a very little community in Kent, which is there's lots of bands there, and I mean, they fucking hated the Anti-Nowhere League. We was an absolute pile of shit. We couldn't play a fucking song. was dreadful. There's all these bands that have been at it for so long.
Brilliant musicians.
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant musicians that played at the Rockford State. There's a stag at Ashworth.
That's it. Yeah.
Once played at the Albert Hall, don't they? But I mean, they really, they was like really very competent musicians. We was a total pile of shit, and we got the success, and they got nothing, and they fucking hated us for it. They could not,
So it goes back to the old point again, is that, I mean, it just shows that, anybody can pick up a guitar and fucking enjoy things. You don't have to sit back and look at other people and say, wish it was me. You can fucking get up there and do it.
Here's a tip for any band starting: don't worry about the music. If you've got the image and you can fucking do it, go out and do it. Yeah. Don't worry about the music. If you go out there and fucking punch them straight in the face, that's what you want to do. You don't have to worry about writing lovely, beautiful songs and all that. Get the instrument, buy the instrument and do the business and go out there. And if you're lucky, you get it. If you don't, you won't. It's all luck at the end of the day. There's 1,000,001 bands as brilliant as fucking Blur and Oasis and that out there. They just don't have the breaks. It's all about the day. Just to go out there and get someone to give you that start. If you've got that start in the music business, you can do it. As easy as that.
Next.
I was trying to hold that in while you was rabbiting there, right? Didn't want to interrupt. Right, quickly, because I'm running out of time here. In as few words as possible, what does punk mean to you?
Is it punk means? It means that I can go out and I can really fucking have fun without any fucking hassling me whatsoever. That's what punk is. That's why I play these punk shows. It is hassle-free fucking entertainment. I love the guys. I love the fucking audience. I love the atmosphere. It's blinding.
It's showing off and getting paid for it. That's it in a nutshell. Showing off and getting paid for it. Brilliant.
Winston, to me to you.
Punk means to me, having a fucking good time. I mean, so it's not just punk. It's anything. It's any alternative. It's any alternative lifestyle to what the average lifestyle is. And going out, having a good time, fucking partying. It don't matter if you're 10 years old or if you're 50 years old. If you go out, get out, and have a fucking good time.
On
That's what it's all about.
this tape, you probably Gavin now Winston only does it because he likes a good time. He does like a good time.
Get drunk.
It also means he can be completely obscene without getting locked up for it. He actually gets paid
a license to
A license to act up.
A license to carry on what we used to do before we were in the band when we were bikers.